That's what's up, man. That sounds like some really inspirational, typical American dream story right there. I wish I had the hustle.
Exactly. Real quick, you was talking about just like you always kind of been an entrepreneur. Where did that mindset where did that come from? Like, what do you attribute that way of thinking to?
I would say just from my family. My mom actually, she had owned a few salons, and my dad was a barber, and he owned a couple barbershops in the Cleveland area. So from growing up, it was real big. They were real big on you have to have a hustle, you have to have a second hustle, you have to have different forms of residual income. You need to be able to make your own money, make your money work for you. So that's kind of where that mindset started at a young age, where once I got to high school, my mom said, hey, I'm going to buy $50 worth of candy. Once you sell all this candy, give me my money back, and then use that other $50 to buy more candy. And from there. So it got to a point where every month I would make some money. I would have some money aside to go to the movies. Because at that point, I didn't drive at that point. So it was just like, okay, I need
just saving all of
it. So I was able to use half of it to go back into investing into the candy, and the other half I was able to save it or use it for whatever I wanted to. So
probably eating the rest of it too.
So yeah, you have candy. So once you become the plug, there you go.
So while you was choosing all those, not choosing, but while you was going through like those different type of phases of businesses, did you ever come into a standstill where you felt like some of the things you was doing was failing? Like, did you have any failures along the way?
There was always some form of hardship or something that got in the way. I remember freshman year in high school, the candy business was going good up until the principal actually heard about me selling candy. And it was a conversation, hey, it's against school policy. You're not allowed to sell candy or any outside sources, especially because it conflicted with their vending machines and what they served at lunch. And so I had to kind of work around that. So it got to the point where I would sell candy before school and then after school, or during lunch breaks, or times where I was able to kind of bend through the rules for school policy. And also being able to store the candy during the day, since if it's in my locker,
people trying to steal your candy.
You got to worry about
M&Ms and Snickers.
Steal the candy. You have to worry about where you're going to keep it. So especially with chocolate, because chocolate melts. So if it's in a locker all day, you come back and your candy's melted. So I was able to partner up with a couple of my teachers. They'll remain name anonymous. They actually let me use their refrigerators to store the candy. So I would just basically give them their favorite, candy, like Three Musketeers from my English teacher, Bam. She said, hey, just store it here, pick it up, when you're ready to pick it up. So I was able to kind of find different routes.
What about the Zeke Sneaks? Any failures with that company?
Sneaks, actually, Zeke Sneaks, it's been a lot of good times, but also a lot of hardships, especially being in the resale business for shoes. One of the main failures that I had faced actually when I first started, there were two things. The first was actually being able to provide the money to put up for different shoe purchases and different shoe investments. With being a resale business, I would have to go out and purchase shoes at a retail amount, so the average shoe would cost about $200. But looking at the profit wise, you can make $50 to $100, on a regular general release shoe. So, if you really want to make money in this area, you have to have money. My second challenge was, especially since there's such high demand shoes, there's a lot of people who try to get over on other people, such as scams, fakes. So that was something I had to learn about starting off. And I remember when I first started, it was a lesson that I learned.
So did you got scammed before?
Yes.
Dang.
Me
too.
It's crazy.
I got scammed on some LeBrons, man.
I got scammed for a big release.
What?
It totaled to be about $5,000.
$5,000 worth of shoes?
$5,000 worth of shoes. So
dang.
The guy I bought the shoes from, I purchased from him before. I didn't have any issues, but it was one shoe. This time I was purchasing 20 pairs of shoes from him. And I should have did it a little, on my side, I should have kind of took a little bit better precaution, especially purchasing $5,000 worth of shoes. But
you was excited.
I was just too excited. I'm like, wow, this sounds like a good deal. Like, I can make a lot of money off of this release. But little did I know, as soon as I received those shoes, they were all counterfeit shoes.
How did you know they was counterfeit?
I could tell as soon as I got them, as soon as I held the shoe in my hand, the stitching was off. There was markings on the shoe. So I could just tell, like, this is a counterfeit shoe.
But we just gonna bring out the first example of how bootleg China gave me my shit. Nigga, they gave me some goddamn Daffy Ducks. This shit, look how they tied that shit. They went so OC on the tongue. Oh my God.
I can't sell this because being a reseller, it's all about brand. If I'm telling people I have 100% authentic shoes, then
you have to live up to that.
I have to live up to it. That's how you become reputable in the resale business. So with those, I also took pre-orders on those shoes too. So now I had to return the shoes, try to get my money back, and also refund the customers' money that I actually had taken. So
did you take a loss on that?
I took a loss because I didn't do a PayPal invoice when I purchased the shoes, which I learned anytime doing business, make sure that you have a contract, something legally binded, just in case something goes wrong. But I was able to use, I used actually my grandfather's credit card when purchasing the shoes. So it was a long process to get my money back because the seller actually, after he sent me the shoes, he went ghost mode. So he blocked my number. I wasn't able to find him, wasn't able to get in contact with him. I think he was from Alabama. So me being in Ohio, it wasn't an easy thing. Yeah, it wasn't, I couldn't do too much of it, especially legally, because he's in another state. So it took a lot to actually get the money back from the credit card, from reporting it, having to have a detailed description of what happened. So I was able to get the money back that I from the credit card purchase, but from having to refund the customers, which usually once you have an order and it's sealed, that money is being used for the next shoe release.
Exactly.
So I had to work hard that summer to make sure that I paid everyone back that I borrowed money from to pay my customers back.
Wow.
So it showed me
that would have had somebody catch a body.
Yeah, right. So it was deep because
that's deep.
Yeah, at that point it was very stressful having to make a comeback from that. That's $5,000 that I did not have.
Exactly.
So from that point, I kind of wanted to give up, but that kind of gave me more motivation to make sure it never happens to me again, but also make sure it never happens to someone else. And that's kind of really why I started my business. So individuals, they don't have to worry about getting scammed and buying fakes or being out on their money looking for the real deal. So I'm able to provide that service and help other people not have to deal with that.
It's so lovely, man. Yeah.